Welcome along to the Semi-Pros. Great to have your company on the show again this week. Huge week in sport. Lots has been happening. We're going to talk all about it on the Semi-Pros. We're a little bit understaffed this week. Just myself and Troy Gursky will join you for the show this week, but we'll make it worth your while. We'll double the fun. We'll do enough talking to fit in for the other two, Steve and Joel, who are away. What's happening on the show this week? We're going to catch up with Georgia Voll. Very, very exciting news. One of the outstanding young prospects when it comes to cricket, not just in Toowoomba or Queensland, but Australia. She's picked up a very lucrative contract this week at just 16 years of age. So she's our special guest on the show. Our special guest each week is brought to you by ITP Toowoomba and Haines Wilson. For the Southern Hotel, we're going to head out to Bar 839, have a chat to Shane Mogg, see what's happening out there. And also we'll have a look at the Southern Hotel shot clock, a few topics to discuss there. And also, of course, for Hogans Family Jewelers, we'll have a look at our rocks and diamonds of the week, see what is making positive and negative news this week. All that's coming up on the Semi-Pros. Hope you can stay with us. We're up next.
Just about done, mate. Surely. There you go. That's outstanding. Not much talent running around in our own backyard.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Semi-Pros. The Semi-Pros. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up. Let's go.
Welcome along to the Semi-Pros. Welcome into the program. Troy Gursky, how are you?
I'm good, mate. Just the terrible two tonight, eh? The other boys are barless. No, mate. Going well. A couple of the boys the other two have had big weeks. Big Joel's had a big week, hasn't he? Big fella's had a birthday today, and he's got a little one that's come into the world as well. So you're an uncle again, mate. So big week for Joel. Very big week.
No, terrific. So so congratulations to Joel and Karen, Joel on his birthday, and then of course on the birth of Banjo Braid Stour. That's the name. Banjo Braid Stour was born on Sunday, just gone. So quite exciting news there. So that's why he's not here. Where's Glover? He hasn't got any real excuse.
I don't think he's got the same excuse. I think the big fella's getting ready for a game of cricket in a few weeks.
Is he?
Up dusting the cobwebs off, pull his kit bag out of Viv's closet. I think it's been in there for a few years. So he's pulled that out and he's up there having a bit of a hit with the Grammar Blazer boys, getting ready for a game in a few weeks. Yeah. So
how you guys going?
Back out there.
How are you guys going? I had a training run last Sunday. Yeah. I was supposed to get along. I couldn't get there. I was, as we said, with the impending birth, I was looking after the nieces and nephews. So
we had a run last Sunday. It was good to get out there. Yeah, had a bit of a run around. We've got a few blokes like Aid Watterson and Steve McGiffin are playing a bit of grey cricket. So they're in a bit of nick, better nick than the rest of us, I tell you. So. But no, good to see a few boys get out there and get amongst it, and we start not this weekend, next weekend. Be exciting.
Here's one of the great friends of the show chipping in, trying to get a start. Lewis Birmingham. What's he been up to? He said, give me a feed, I'll fill in.
Get Louis on the show. That would be entertaining, wouldn't
I don't know. Yeah? I don't know if he means a feed as in a feed to the show or an actual physically a feed. I don't know which way he's going.
Probably both, I'd say.
How's he been going? Has he landed any multis or anything lately?
Big Louis. He's been a bit quiet for multis lately, I think. Yeah. So we could see the big fella venturing up the hill in a few weeks, actually. For Wheatwood Day. I think he's going to make the trip.
Isn't that exciting? That's just around the corner.
Yeah. Wheatwood Day. I think everyone's ready now, aren't they? It's turned September 1st has rolled in, and spring's come along, and everyone's ready for Wheatwood, I think. So I can't wait. You'd be the same, mate. You'd be pumped.
Yeah, looking forward to it, my friend. Very much looking forward to it. It's a couple of weeks away as we count down to that. But look, plenty to talk about. There's a lot going on. So I said there's just the two of us here with the soapbox. I'll kick us off. My first topic that I wanted to talk about is how good are the NBA playoffs? Have you seen the game? Like, in terms of, from a spectator's point of view, the games the last few days. So today we had two. We had a Game 7, Houston and Oklahoma City. It's gone right down to the last second. We had the Game 2 of the Heat Bucks semi-final series in the East. It went down to after the final hooter, basically. We had Game 7 yesterday. Unfortunately for our Aussie fans, or if you follow the Aussie superstars, Joe Ingles and the Jazz went down. But I just thought the competition, I don't know, would you reckon taking away the home court advantage, home and away series, does it make much difference? Well, maybe it does, but the poor Jazz, they were up 3-1 and they ended up losing the series.
Mate, it does make it interesting, doesn't it? Taking that home court advantage away, taking the crowd out of it. That series you're talking about, how about the two boys in that series between Denver and
Utah?
And Utah. Who was it? Murray from Denver, and who was it from Utah?
And Donovan Mitchell from Utah.
Mitchell. The numbers that those two put up for that series was just ridiculous.
Just let them play one-on-one.
Yeah. They both put up a couple of 50-point games.
50-point games,
a couple of 40s in there. Yeah.
And that Game 6, they were a little quieter for that Game 6, just backwards and forwards. Some of the shots that Mitchell was hitting were incredible, but the problem was that Murray was doing the same on the other end. So it just was end to end, and in the end, it was just that obviously Denver just had that lead and they were able to hang on to it. It was incredible to watch, to be honest. And there's some really interesting scenarios that we're sitting at there now. So Milwaukee, who many thought would obviously advance in the East, they're in real trouble. They're down 0-2 to Miami. So they've got to come back. Not insurmountable, obviously, but they're down 0-2 at the moment. So, so they got a hill to climb.
It'll be there'll be a few teams in the West going. We'll be rubbing their hands together, going, "Geez, I hope the Bucks gone." Because can you see any of the other teams in the East competing with whoever gets through from the West, other than the Bucks? Maybe Celtics, I suppose.
Celtics are playing really well at the moment. They're up 2-0 against Toronto. I think they are. I don't know. I mean, I've always been the same as everyone. I actually thought Milwaukee would win the East, but the more I've watched and the way Boston's going, that they might be the team in the East. Who knows? So, and as for the West, I don't know. What do you reckon? You got to call them.
I think the Clippers. I think Clippers will get through.
Yep.
That'll be a good. That's going to be, if it comes down to that, that's going to be a good series. But the LA series, Lakers and the Clippers. I think the Clippers got a little bit more depth, but
they do. I agree. I agree.
I think they're just warming up.
But no, that's my say for the week. We're just sort of touching on the NBA and how good it's been. Soapbox, Bub's banter. What do you got?
Mine's Novak Djokovic.
Right.
I'm just curious on when Novak finishes his career, where he's going to be ranked and what the perception of the public's going to be, where they're going to rank him. Just with the stuff that's happened with Novak over the last few years.
Yeah.
He's probably going to overtake the other two, you'd think, on titles.
You'd say so.
Yeah, but I just don't know. I just don't know where people are going to rank him. Whether they're going to rank him above the other two or below him or in between, or I just get that feeling that he's going to be the bloke that's going to be a little bit forgotten about down the track. He's come out with some interesting stuff over the last few months, hasn't he? Had his tournament, passed COVID around.
That was interesting.
He's gone to. He's at the US Open now, and a few people are giving him a bit of stick about his antics after winning the other night. The way he played up to the non-crowd a bit, I suppose. I don't know. I'm just interested because it seems though Novak's that bloke that everyone loves Roger.
Yep.
I think people respect Nadal, but because people love Roger so much, I think they have a little bit of a hatred towards Nadal. But he's a great bloke, isn't he? But I think because the way Roger is, and then there's Novak, where I think people just don't like him because the other two are such a good blokes and good winners and gracious losers as well. So I'm just interested to see the perception of Novak in 10 years' time. It'll be interesting.
And when
what do you reckon?
Yeah, it's a good point, actually. When all's said and done, where do people rank him because of those reasons? As you said, Roger's got the appeal of, I guess, popularity via personality, and obviously he's unbelievably talented as well, no doubt. But all of them are. That the point you make is that the three of them are incredibly talented. But Novak probably is the one that, as you said, is going to overtake both of them when it comes to victories, isn't he?
And have a look at his head-to-head record against the top. I think he comes out on top against both of them.
Incredible. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Incredible. And who else in the world would have that? Who else would have a winning record or a positive record, even a neutral record against those two?
Exactly. And I think Nadal's got the record over Federer too. So, interesting.
Yeah, so where does Novak rank and where will he rank? That's something, interesting to see. So, right, that's our look on the soapbox. Now, before we get to after the break, just to introduce our guest that's going to be joining us, Georgia Voll. What an achievement. She'll tell us about shortly, but what an achievement to be picked up.
Yeah, it's going to get it'll get Toowoomba buzzing, getting a Toowoomba girl getting a contract now with the Heat, and I think George is going to get a bit of exposure because obviously with all the COVID stuff that's happened, cricket's coming through and it's probably going to get a bit of a run now, Cricket League. So can't wait to see her out there playing. It'd be great.
16 years of age, so was named in the Heat some WBBL squad for the upcoming season. It is quite an achievement. So she is our special guest, thanks to Haines Wilson, ITP Toowoomba. So we're going to take a break on the semi-pros, and on the other side of this break, Georgia Voll is going to join us.
Hey guys, Colin and Liam here from Haines Wilson, and today we're sitting with Steve from Paragon Homes and checking out the new display home at the Lees. Thanks for having us, mate.
No, mate, thanks for popping by.
Mate, I'm a big fan of Paragon. I love the stuff that you guys do. It's really unique and sort of, like I find, like with our clients, they get it designed to their specific needs. Every build's different. I'm loving it.
Yeah, mate, exactly right. And really, we wanted to give more to our clients. And the process that I used when I built our house and land packages went through, designed a brief around what we're trying to create within the home, the feel, how it needed to function, the purpose of the home, to bring together a home which really tries to target what you're trying to get at the end of the day and create a home that's more than just a couple of lines that's slapped on a plan, thrown on a block. Like, there's so much you can do when you build a home and making sure you get that better result out of building a home at the end of the day. When you get the keys, you get that elation, you walk in the door, it's somewhere you just love to be.
Yeah, and it's just yours. It's totally different. Mate, love it. You're doing a good job, man. Really love it.
Very flash. Love it, mate. Good work.
Thanks to the team from Haines Wilson, ITP Toowoomba. Haines Wilson, ITP Toowoomba, special guest on the show this week. Georgia Voll, how are you?
Yeah, good, guys. How are you?
Excellent. Now, congratulations. Huge news for those, I suppose, that don't know. Tell us a bit about the news that broke this week involving yourself and the Heat.
I've signed a contract with the Brisbane Heat for the upcoming WBBL season. So, yeah, it's really exciting.
Did you expect that? Did you think you were a chance? What was the process with that?
No, not really. Obviously, been training with the Fire Girls with the pre-season and just working really hard, learning lots of new things. And yeah, it was just a bit of to top it all off, really. And it's really excited about it. So.
Yeah, excellent. At 16 years of age, are you the youngest in the squad?
Yeah.
Yeah. By a fair way, or?
No, Charlie not. She's turning 18 this year, so she's the.
I'd say that's a fair way still. 2 years. Yeah.
Same, it's a fair gap, I'd suggest.
There is a big gap between being 16 and 18. Like, a lot of people emerge as 18, 19-year-olds, but to do it at the age of 16 is you'd be in rare air there, I would have thought. So so Georgia, give us a bit of a lean into what happened last year. You must have had some good performances last year for the selectors to earmark you for a contract for this year.
Yeah, I think I had a pretty good year last year with obviously great cricket. Is probably the main thing that probably the selectors, I guess, saw. Obviously started off at Ipswich and in the last year changed over to Sandgate and having a really good time at Sandgate, really good girls. So had a pretty good year, then went away to under 18s nationals Had an all right, pretty good tournament, and then came back and found out that I was going to debut for the Fire, and that was at the start of February. So no, didn't really expect a contract, but really glad to have gotten one.
So with the formats now, obviously you've got the Heat, which is your 2020 stuff. Your Fire games. Do you play? Is it only 50 over cricket, or you play a little bit of longer format stuff?
Just 50 overs. I think there's 8 rounds. It's just it usually breaks up on either side of the WBL. But I think it's going to be a bit different this year because of the whole COVID and stuff. But yeah, it's still undecided when that's going to be happening. But yeah, it's definitely going to be happening. So.
Really exciting that you got picked up. Did you know you were in the mix? I mean, did it come as a big surprise? Was there good vibes around? You thought I'm a chance of picking up a contract?
Look, I was just focusing on training really hard and hoping to get one in the next couple of years, because I'm pretty young still, so I didn't really expect to get one. Just focusing on training and putting in all the extra work, and to see it paying off and people seeing that has obviously helped and worked, and going along with it now. So
if you got obviously it's probably early days, but you've probably spoken to the coaching staff and whatnot. They've been in talks with you over the last few months. Any idea what type of role you could play when given the opportunity to get your first game?
No, haven't really spoken about it. Probably I'm just happy getting the experience from the older girls and really learning my game is just exciting in itself, really. Like, I'm training with some of the best players in the world, and to be able to do that is pretty exciting for me. But obviously my preferred position is opening batter, so if that opportunity comes up, I'll definitely take it.
So you look at last year, was it 314 runs, an average of tick under 35, so top of 83, so and 12 wickets at 11.4. So the form was there. So I mean, you have been showing, obviously the selectors that you're ready to take this step. So that was at the under 18s champs. Came off a few good club runs from that, and had pretty good form heading into the under 18. So I think it's just been about obviously putting in all the hard work and it coming off and starting to work, which is really good. So your question, Troy, like, I mean, you've obviously been around cricket and achieved at a higher level. How huge an achievement is this for Georgia to be picked up in this squad at this age, and to know the competition that she's going to play against?
Oh, it's, as I said before, it's rare air. Like, to get picked up as a 16-year-old, it's pretty unheard of. Like, most people get earmarked, and you might get into a squad as an 18-year-old, or 19. Some develop a bit later, but at 16. Is massive. I can't wait for the season to start to see how Georgia goes. Like, and there's a few girls that are gone from the team last year. I think Kirby Short's not playing anymore, is she?
No, she retired. So
she retired. She was an opening bat. There you go. There's a spot for you straight in. And actually, who was the left-handed opener from last year? She's not playing either, is she?
Moons. Yeah, no, she's with the Scorchers. Yeah.
There's another spot at the top. So looking pretty good, I think.
It's all working out.
Yeah.
Maybe you should select the squad, Troy.
Maybe I should. One thing I do want to ask. So I've had a bit of involvement with the ladies that have come through from yesterday, I suppose. A lot of them come through and played Australian indoor and whatnot. the power game in the ladies. The last 2 years, I watched a game, I think it was the World Cup final, and Alyssa Healy hit one out of the MCG pretty much. She hit into the crowd. Like, that wouldn't have happened 4 or 5 years ago. The girls didn't have that power. What's changed, George? Is it the training techniques? I know the bats have got something to do with it. They actually give you a bit more power these days. They give us a bit more power as well. But what actually is it?
To be honest, I have no idea. But yeah, obviously in the last couple of years, there's been a lot more sixes, a lot more very powerful hitting, and it's really good to watch, especially players like Alyssa Healy. Moon does it quite well as well. Grace Harris. So to watch that, it's actually really cool to watch. But I'm not sure really. Timing, contact, maybe been to the gym a bit more. I don't know.
Yeah. I think he's probably doing more weights training than what they might have done back in the day as well, I think. I watched the game last year. One of the Sri Lankan girls hit 100 or something, and she was banging them on the roof at North Sydney Oval for fun. Like, she got about 130, 140 on. It's good to watch.
It's really good to watch,
Yeah, I think it's the brand of it's become incredible, and a little bit of pressure as well, isn't it? Because the Heat obviously defending champions 2 years, or definitely reigning premiers at the moment, aren't they? So there's some pressure there on yourself and the team to continue the role.
Yeah, I think we have a really exciting squad. We've got a few young girls. Obviously, got the 2 New Zealander girls back. Who else? South African. I think the squad looks really good. I'm just really excited to. Obviously, I know most of the girls from the Fire team, but to get to know the overseas players, I think that's really exciting.
Yeah, no. Georgia, who got you originally involved with cricket? Who got you interested in it?
So I thought when I was 12, I had to give up rugby league because there was no girls. So I had to stop playing with the boys at Highfields Eagles. And I kind of went down to the nets with one of my mates, and then just went around trialing for every sport that came up at school, and just went and trialed for D, and lucky enough I picked in that, and it's kind of gone from there. So one of my mates from primary school actually got me into it. We went down to the nets a few times and went to the trials. I just swung at the ball. I didn't really know what I was doing, but obviously, it kind of just worked out from there. I think it took me obviously a few years. I've missed out on the Queensland under-12s, under-15s, and then made the 18s. What was that? 2017, I think. And then it's kind of just gone from there, just been in the pathway system, under 15s, under 18s, and then CA as well. So yeah, it's kind of just since I got into the first, it's kind of just gone with it, and stopped playing for this year as well to obviously focus on my cricket. So yeah.
And what about the other involvement across just women's cricket in Toowoomba? It's something we've seen that continues to evolve. So there's obviously been some good coaches involved in it here locally, and just the pathway that's there now for girls like yourself, as you mentioned, to go from just having a bash in the nets to being able to really pursue this and follow those pathways to achieve what you've been able to achieve.
Yeah. So I think Anthony Clark. I think we started it Saturday competition, and that was with the Highfields Railways Bulldogs, and we were playing second grade in Ipswich then. So I think we were playing Saturday, Sunday. We had an all girls team, which was it was really fun. And And then most of those girls, we went down to Ipswich and played second grade on the Sunday. So we had a pretty tight group for a couple of years there. And I think that's kind of, and then there's girls behind that has also come through Toowoomba Hub. And I think that was with Clarkie as well. And they come down through second grade, and I think some of them are playing first grade now, which is really good for them. So, yeah, it's a good pathway from Toowoomba to Ipswich. I think that's helped out a lot. Yeah.
And I was thinking you would have continued or have blazed a new trail, I suppose, with the Heat now, but there's always been a sprinkling of the female cricketers from our region that have competed at the highest level. So Jodie Fields, if I got the name right from memory. So
yeah,
I mean,
Jodie,
Captain Australia, wasn't she? Or just Queensland? Yeah, Captain Queensland Australia, right from Toowoomba. So when you look at those that have come before you and what you've been able to achieve, it's that there is a good production line of Darling Downs flavour that's certainly made a name for themselves when it comes to women's cricket at the highest level.
Yeah, I think I was talking to Jodie, might have been a year or two ago, and she said I didn't actually know she was from Toowoomba. We had a bit of chat, so yeah, I think it's really good. It just shows that you don't have to be living in Brisbane to get seen and to go through the pathways. So yeah, you can come from anywhere and still get to the top, which is I think it's really good.
We've got a few other girls that are coming through at the moment. Ellie Johnson's coming through the ranks. She's actually playing a bit of the fire stuff this year, isn't she?
Yeah, so she also got a contract with the Fire this year, which is really exciting for her. Yeah, so she got her first contract this year as well with the Fire. And yeah. It's really exciting. I think coming from Toowoomba and both getting one, it's a really good achievement. So.
Yeah, no, that's for sure. So what happens now? You're named in the squad. We saw the excitement about that. What's next? So what's the next step for you when it comes to when's your first assignment or what you've got to do or when it comes to the Heat?
Yeah, so at the moment we're still training the Fire. Just training really hard as girls can't obviously go to other states yet if they're playing for another association. So we're all still together up here, and then I think it changes over a little bit later. We're not sure 100% about what the go is yet, but just keep training, and when that comes up, we'll be ready to go. So. Yeah.
That's the other big question, isn't it? As you said, just with COVID and what we've seen, obviously, with any competition that has teams based out of outside of Queensland has obviously created a difficult scenario that needs to be navigated. We've seen that with the Aussie Rules Grand Final that's here now. We've seen with what's happened with rugby league and all these other different sports that have been happening. So that's another very interesting part where I suppose you just don't know what the situation's going to be.
Yeah. Obviously it's been hard for everyone really. But I think it's just waiting to hear back. And I think that's going to be, we'll hear back very soon, and then we can start preparations towards that. So yeah, no one's really sure on what's going on yet.
Bring them all to Queensland.
Yeah, well,
we'll have all the comps.
That's probably what's going to happen, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm not too sure yet, so no one really knows.
Might get a game in Toowoomba.
Well, there'd be a chance we could get a team based up here. Yeah, if something happens, you can't. Yeah, they've got to probably spread them out around the place a bit. You probably have the men as well. You have men and ladies, so it'd be good for the state.
Yeah, definitely. So, but look, yeah, we'll wait and see what happens with that. So, but when you sit here today and we talk to you about being a member of the Heat, and yes, there's a lot of steps to go for you in your career, and I'm sure there's going to be a lot greater heights. But it must have been a very special moment for your family as well. We always talk about in sport the families that sacrifice so much to allow people like yourself the opportunity to do what you do, the amount of car rides that still would be occurring, I'm sure. But your family, it must have been a really special time to be able to recognise, well, this is something really special to have achieved, and all of the sacrifice that went in from not just yourself, but everyone around you.
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, half of our family moved up at the start of the year, and we're just obviously waiting for the house to sell for Dad to move down. But yeah, we've had 6 months living apart, and I think just the support that they've given. Mum driving me to Brizzy backwards and forwards 4-5 times a week obviously has paid off, and I'm really thankful that the sacrifices that Mum and Dad made for me to be able to pursue something that I love. So
yeah. Where are you going? Where are you at the moment? Where are you going to school, Georgia?
I'm at Brisbane State High.
Brisbane State High.
Yeah. So quite exciting times that do lie ahead. So when are you next on the field?
Round 1 starts next week, first grade. So yeah, I think it's really exciting actually, because we're playing Weston. We've got a few contracted players in each team, so I think there'll be a bit of banter going on. But it'll be really good to get out there.
Well, most certainly look forward to that and look forward to following the journey. Congratulations. As I said, I think it was a huge announcement to see your name there. I think so many people from Toowoomba obviously were so proud to see you named in that squad. And as I said, I'm sure, as Troy said, it puts you in rare air. So I think it's only just the beginning, and we hope that journey certainly does continue for you. And we look forward to watching you run around in the teal of the Brisbane Heat. And thanks very much for joining us on the show tonight.
Thank you.
That's Georgia Voll joining us on the Semi-Pros. We'll take a break. When we come back, we're going to head out and have a look at the Southern Hotel. We'll have our Southern Hotel shot clock segment. That's up next.
At the Southern Hotel, our Sunday steak special has been so popular, we want to offer it on Saturday too. 180-gram rump mignon, 400-gram New York cut T-bone, or a huge 500-gram grain-fed rump, all for just $23.95. It's better at the Southern.
Thanks for joining us on the Semi-Pros here. Just cheeky little comment there from Steve Glover there before.
Shouldn't he be a trainer?
Yeah, exactly. If he's not a trainer, shouldn't he be on the show?
Get in here. What's he doing?
Yeah, dial in.
Oh, God.
Tablecloth.
How good is Georgia? Hey?
Yeah,
I
terrific.
Can't wait to see how she goes, mate. Big stage, 16-year-old. Oh, that's as I said to you before, massive. Getting a crack at 16. Most people are coming through the junior ranks still. To get a crack with the elite at that age, she's going to be something special, eh?
Yeah, no, as I said, like she's considered obviously one of the top prospects in the country when it comes to female cricket. So, and from Toowoomba, so we look forward to following that journey as it most certainly continues. So yeah, so great to have her on the show, and again, as you said, for 16, great maturity as well. Obviously, she spoke so well also, which is a great sign. So she's certainly a talent that we'll look forward to following in that journey. Southern Hotel. I think we're right to head out to the Southern Hotel. Shane Mogg standing by. Here he is. How are you, mate?
Yeah, good, mate. Good. Another week down in the history of the 2020 sports and the saga that will be the year of COVID, I guess. The AFL committing to Queensland. Bland's not real happy about it. Maybe he could do something about it and commit to us too. So,
we're going to talk about
the AFL level of Blandys, but it seems to be a bit of a merry-go-round this year. The old COVID's thrown everything into disarray.
Yeah, no doubt about it. We're going to talk a bit about that in our Southern Hotel shot clock segment. But something I wanted to talk to you about now, the Southern Hotel, obviously, we've talked about, obviously, everything that's happening with COVID. You're in the news recently as well. But I guess there's a message there as well for all those that come out to the Southern and support the Southern that there's no dramas and keep continuing to support you guys.
Yeah, that's it, mate. Look, us, like every other venue that is operating and all the businesses operating around town, we have to follow a fairly strict COVID plan. And the fact that, we did get interjected into the media for a potential positive case coming through the building, and the fact that Queensland Health have come out, inspected us, had a look at everything we do and said, we go above and beyond and our COVID safe plan is in place and the measures we have in place are more than adequate. And I guess that shows for us, and also I guess the council with the markets, there are no active cases in Toowoomba. And, we can only keep moving and progressing forward and use our due diligence and to make sure not only our staff but our community are safe. And look, after speaking with Queensland Health, and obviously the 2 weeks is well and truly past, it sort of got blown up and come out with 3 days to go in the 14 days. So, yeah, look, we're just happy and, we're happy to be open, trading and everything business as usual for us. I know that you said the other day, James, when you came in, you remarked on how diligent the staff were and all of that. And clearly our diligence and those of the other businesses in Toowoomba are proving that if you do the right thing and you listen to what's happening, COVID doesn't really need to be a scary word.
No, it's a good point. I did make that comment, and Troy, you were there with me when we were out there, that the lengths, I was I'm not going to say surprised, but I suppose as I said, I was quite taken with the approach it was taken with the staff. As soon as he came in, it was obviously made clear that this is what has to happen as a result of COVID. These are the responsibilities of us as a premises around obviously taking the names down. Then you had to be seated. You had the armband. It was really good.
Yeah. Oh, look, mate, and look, what has transpired over the last week is obviously hurting us as a business, but we're moving forward. People are coming out and supporting us, and as a reflection of that support, our Southern Hotel community and our members will be rewarded over the coming weeks with little offers as a thank you from us. I mean, and it's not only us they're supporting. We do a lot for local sport. As you guys well know, we sponsor several local sporting clubs. So, the money that comes into our business does filter back out into the grassroots sports and things like that. So, it's great to see the community supporting us, but in doing so, they're supporting their own local community as well. So thank you so much, guys. And, we are COVID safe. Come in, have a beer, relax, enjoy the big screens and enjoy the big games.
Cracking spot. Cracking spot. As James said before, like it was, as you walked in and we sat down, you knew exactly what you could and you couldn't do. And we had a cracking day. We had a really good day out there. So yeah, anyone that's listening, get out there and support the Southern. And as Moggy said before, they support a lot of the local sporting clubs, and the money filters back through the town. So yeah, get back out there.
For sure. And the other thing I was going to say, Moggy, on it is that from obviously you guys had someone that came through and obviously tested, but the contact tracing's all been done and it's all negative.
Yeah, mate, yeah, it's all been given the okay, and obviously we had some staff members who were working that day who got tested, and other staff members got tested for various reasons, just for their own peace of mind. And look, everything's come back tip top, perfect. All our staff are happy and healthy, and our venue is healthy. So we look forward to moving forward and putting this little COVID bubble behind us and continuing to do what we do best, which is serve great food and give you guys a great atmosphere to enjoy yourselves.
Might be someone ringing the book now, actually. So
probably ringing up to tell me to get off. Get your head off the table.
So what should we come in for this weekend? What's happening at the Southern?
Mate, this weekend we've got obviously all the big NRL games and all the AFL. That's obviously in the area up in the air at the moment. The AFL, the Lions are obviously trying to cement a top 4 spot, which I'm hoping they do. Wouldn't it be fantastic? The first ever grand final outside of Victoria in Queensland, and we've got a Queensland team in there. That'd just be phenomenal. Obviously, it's the only hope as a Queensland team we have. We've forgotten. I don't even know if we've got an NRL team anymore. I think we're just waiting for it.
I'm not looking forward to that either.
obviously, we're running out 6 all day, every day Southern specials. Great value. If you remember, $15.30. If not, $16.99. It's dear to go to McDonald's these days, and you've got 6 fantastic meals to choose from. And we've got the vegetarian lasagna that caters for those non-meat loving members of the society, and the 200-gram rumple, the barra, roast of the day. There's plenty of great options there. So come in and enjoy a great feed and a great time.
Yeah, no, most certainly a good advice there. Have you got a winner for us this weekend or what?
Mate, I don't know if it's going to be a winner, but it's certainly a horse that I'm going to follow very, very closely, having put a fair stack of cash on it about 20 minutes after the Melbourne Cup last year. Surprise Baby. It went well. It goes well fresh. Look, I will be very surprised if it doesn't salute. But certainly that is your Melbourne Cup winner this year. If it runs anywhere near the run it ran last year, I've never seen a Melbourne Cup run like it. So follow that one, and I think you'll all be apples on the 1st of Tuesday in November.
All right. You better get the phone. Someone's trying to book in. Thanks for joining us on the show.
Cheers, guys. Thank you.
See you, mate.
Shane Mogg joining us there from the Southern. Now, Bubs was talking about Southern Hotel shot clock. That's sort of, he touched on it there. Big news for Queensland. We're off to the Gabba for the grand final. How good's that? Probably always hoped and thought it was going to happen, but they've finally made it official, and it's at night.
First night AFL final. A lot of the big wigs are coming out saying once they go to the night game, they won't be going back to. They reckon so. Well, that's what happened with league, didn't it? Went to a afternoon to a night game and haven't looked back. So yeah, how good's that? So it'll be on the Saturday. And the NRL grand final will be on the Sunday. Is that right?
I don't know.
I think I heard that today.
Yeah, okay. Because I'm not sure where they fall this year, but in terms of the grand finals. But I just thought, again, it's another example of where we as a state, and you understand the border closure, just need to keep, being the clean state. Well, we're the clean state. They don't. There's no other choices. Like you talked about it before with the BBL, the WBBL, the NBL, the WNBL, any big fights that happen domestically across Australia, any major sporting event across Australia, it nearly has to be in Queensland, doesn't it?
Where else are they going to go?
That's what I mean.
South Australia. Who likes South Australia? Not many people. WA are trying. We're trying to get a few things, weren't they? But logistically, getting all those teams to WA is just not viable, is it?
No.
Up the East Coast, a bit off going to Queensland. So we're looking good for sport. Oh.
So my thought on it with the Lions, now this is the thing we were talking about, is it an advantage to them, but it also mounts some pressure on them as well.
Yeah, I'm in that court. I think
the pressure court?
Yeah, I think all these teams have been up here for a long time now, so they're used to playing at the Gabba or Metricon or whatnot, and they're living up here. They've been here for a while. I think they're all the other teams are ready to go, and it's pretty. I just hope they're there, mate. Look, what a day that'd be if the Lions could make the GF at the Gabba, and just quietly the AFL big wigs would be hoping that's going to happen. With the way the NRL teams are going at the moment, they're going.
For sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
Get them in there. Yeah, we'll grab some more. We'll grab another pocket out of Queensland.
Exactly. So, I'll come back to that, but we saw there from Live Wide Lightning just had a question for you. You're right for training on Saturday.
Troy, are you good for training on Saturday? what is that in there?
Morning or arvo?
Morning or arvo. Probably more afternoon. Thanks, Grant. A bit of work to do Saturday morning, keeping the public happy with their plumbing gear.
The racing's on in the afternoon, but
let's make it a quick session, eh? Half an hour.
So didn't, as I said, I was hoping to get out there last Sunday, but as I said, the pending birth had not mine, obviously, or anything, but looking after other people.
What do you think, mate? Like with the AFL, like just smart, aren't they? The way they do things.
100%. But the other part I wanted to bring up about this, did you find good old PVL, Peter V'landys? So they're talking about, obviously, so AFL coming in here now, grand final, their chance to steal some of the market, et cetera, and V'landys just come out and just said, good luck with that. It won't happen. But, just basically rubbish. I should look it up. The quote he had today was, I piss funny actually, but basically he just sort of laughed, just said, it's a rugby league state. It's always going to be a rugby league state. Just, go whatever. He really just fobbed it off.
I think Peter would like to see the Queensland team performing a little bit better at the moment, but yeah, it is. But it is. It's a massive league state, but yeah, he wouldn't want the Queensland teams underperforming for the next couple of years, and the Lions, just say for instance the Lions could grab a flag this year at the Gabba, and then the Queensland NRL teams to underperform. He wouldn't want that anyway.
Exactly. And it's the same as we've talked about this before. Remember the growth in the sport of Aussie rules during the golden period of the Lions when they were competing so well. It has to have an impact. Like it has to create further interest for Aussie rules. It has to. It just has to. It has to expose more kids to the game. It's got to have an effect.
That's the one. It's those 8-year-olds through to 14-year-olds that get on the bandwagon of the AFL with a bit of with the Lions doing well, and if say the Broncos and Titans aren't performing, the AFL blokes, they grab another little percentage. They keep grabbing on little pockets. That's the biggest thing for them.
Here you go. Found this quote, so I just looked it up. So this is what Volandy said. So when they talked about obviously AFL officials have high hopes of stealing some market share from the NRL and developing market for the AFL, blah, blah, blah. And then, hope that's a byproduct of holding the grand final outside of Victoria for the very first time. And especially with the Queensland NRL teams not doing so well. Peter Volandy's quote was, "I've never seen a vegetarian eat meat." He told reporters on Thursday. They can huff, they can puff, but they won't blow our house down. It's solid brick. That's his response. These rugby league people will stay solid. I'm a rugby league person through and through. They can throw AFL, whatever sport they want at us, but it'll always be a rugby league person, and I think I replicate the majority of people in Queensland.
Peter doesn't muck around, does he?
I've never seen a vegetarian eat meat. That was his response to it. So there you go. That's what he said about it. But anyway, it will be interesting to see what happens with it. I do think it's a very interesting time when it comes down to that. Other question I want to bring up in the Southern Hotel shot clock on rugby league. State of Origin comes up at the end of the year. And it is on our man again there, PVL. He's talking about this could be the permanent spot for the State of Origin series. So standalone, end of the season. It's come about this year, obviously, as a result of near necessity because of COVID. But so that's the thing on the top. What's your thoughts? I mean, I know we have to see how it goes this year, and obviously, I think a lot of it will be dictated on, of course, how it rates, all those sort of things. But what's your thoughts on having State of Origin permanently in October or whenever it may be, at the end, at the conclusion after the grand final?
I don't know whether you're going to get the same product. The blokes are going through a long season, big off season, long season. Then you're going to throw an Origin series at the back end of it. I just don't know whether you can get your best football, whether you're going to get your best players. I think during that middle there, they're all primed, aren't they? They're all probably at peak fitness. They've got enough games under their belt. You got the pick of the crop. I just don't know whether you can get the pick of the crop come the back end of the year after finals. So I don't know. But as you said, time will tell, won't it? We'll see how it goes this year. Obviously, it's going to rate. The rating. It's not going to make a difference to ratings, is it? It's going to rate high whenever you put it.
Be huge, exactly. I agree with you, and I thought Freddie Fittler made an interesting point, as he said, exactly what you're talking about there, like finding the quality of player and getting the quality of product, as he said. So he said, you go through an Origin series, and if you have X amount of injuries, he said, what are you going to be doing? Like ringing to try and get a bloke out of Bali to come and play? Like again, this is obviously when we're in normal times. That's the time of the season when they're. It's the end. It's the end of their season, and it's a long time, isn't it, to say to said player who say plays for the West Tigers or someone who's not in the 8 or Brisbane Broncos or whatever. Obviously, their season is going to end in 4 weeks' time. Origin's going to be played in a month or so after that, and they have to stay active and and everything along those lines, as you said, on the end of a long season. I think it's sitting in the middle is perfect or where it does sit, because as you said, it's far enough into the season where players have enough games under their belt. We've seen some good form through the NRL. We get through that origin period, and then you get out of the origin period, obviously, and then it's sort of that reboot and that run towards the final. So I think it's a tried and tested system that works well. What maybe you could look at is if it is standalone in the middle of the season. I guess that's the only difference where we have here. I think we all know as NRL fans, it's a bit frustrating and ordinary.
That's the thing that comes up every year, isn't it? Every year. Standalone. They bring it up every year. They've got to couple it together with something, haven't they? Like they've tried to do last years with the international stuff.
Yeah, that's right.
You've got to be appealing. You know, the biggest thing is you've got to be appealing to the TV boys, haven't you? You've got to have the products. So they're the ones paying the money.
Yeah.
Yep.
So there's a quote from Hutto. So Origin will be like a postseason best of show. Should be better than the club challenge. Just probably a point. So there's it's an interesting one. I'm really interested just to see what happens there, where that ends up, what they end up doing, and as I said, if they because I agree with you. Like of course it's going to rate well.
Yeah.
When they get to October, it's going to rate great because it's still going to be. People are talking, it's an extension of rugby league season. It'll rate. It's during probably a quieter period in terms of sport. We're not quite into obviously the summer of cricket. Racing wise, obviously, is happening around that time. But I mean, it's going to, or it'll rate enormous, I reckon.
When are they having it? Do you know what dates they are?
Oh, I can't remember the exact dates. I'll try to look them up while we're
speaking. So it must be
November. They're on back-to-back weeks.
Yeah, okay.
Actually, I think it is because I remember someone saying that like you go like I don't know if it was right now, but there was like Cup week. You had Cup Tuesday.
Oh yeah, it would be too. On the Wednesday.
Origin Wednesday, Oaks Thursday. So not a bad go. I'll try and look it up. So yeah, but it's an interesting question, and I'll be really curious just to see, as I said, what credence they put on the success of this particular series. So yeah, we'll see what happens with it. Be interesting. But anyway, there's a couple of topics on our Southern Hotel shot clock. As we said before, get out and support the Southern. Great spot to go. They've got all the big screens there. You see all the footy action that you want to see, all the racing across the weekend. We'll take a break on the semi-pros. When we come back, we're going to have a look at our rocks and diamonds thanks to Hogans Family Jewelers.
Hi guys, Father's Day is fast approaching and we've got the perfect gift in store right here for you. The Adina Country Master range is the perfect gift for the rugged Australian lifestyle. Adina is an Australian-owned and operated watch company located in Brisbane. All of the watches come with a 2-year warranty and a sapphire crystal glass, ensuring they're quality built and they'll last the test of time. I've personally been wearing Adina watches for 15 years and I've seen farmers wear them for up to 30 years under the harshest conditions, and they've only stood the test of time and proven themselves time and time again. If you're after a quality watch at an affordable price, you don't need to look any further. Adina is the perfect brand for you. This Father's Day, Adina have generously discounted the selected range of Country Master watches. So spoil your father this Father's Day with $50 off a Country Master Adina watch.
So if you are still looking for a Father's Day gift, pop down and see the team from Hogans Family Jewelers.
Look good, don't they? I could do with one of those watches. Quite
You've already spent your money. You've already spent your money there.
I've already given Lockie enough money, I think. I could get a bit back.
You might do your deal on one of those watches. So
I'm sure he would. Anyways, he's alright enough for a deal. Go and see Lockie. He'll help you out.
Yeah, exactly. Hogans Family Jewelers, rocks with diamonds. Friday, Bubs. What do you got? What are you going to rock of the week?
Rock of the week. Well, The Rock. He used to be in it. The WWE. You see the farcical stuff with their virtual audiences over the last 2 weeks. They've got these virtual audiences up, and there's a bloke dressed in a Ku Klux Klan outfit. Like,
what?
How they've let it slip through, I've got no idea. Then, but some of the other stuff that slipped through. There's a Hitler salute, bloke with a Hitler salute on there. There's another bloke on there who seemed to be having a little bit of fun with himself. Yes. So all this stuff's come out, like, in the WWE, it's happened the last 2 shows, apparently, the last 2 weeks. And but the bloke in the with the Ku Klux Klan outfit. He's jumped on again. He got away with it 1 week. Now he's got come through again the second week. Like, it's got to be the amount of money that's through that sport. There's got to be better. Yeah, if you can call it sport, I suppose. There's got to be better procedures of how they're doing their virtual audience. Yeah, they might need to do what the NRL does and get some pop-up signs or something. I think so.
Who checks this stuff?
I don't know, but he can't have a job, or she can't have a job. Like, got to be gone, haven't they?
That's pretty bad, isn't it? Yeah.
Oh, especially with all the stuff that's going on over in the States at the moment. It's the last thing they need.
Yeah.
It's just something like this at the moment. So, yeah, WWE, they don't smell what The Rock is cooking. They're out.
He's got COVID. See that?
Yeah, whole family, eh?
Yeah.
Came out, had it with a little video and quartered off some family friends by the looks of it. So,
yeah, so it's your Rock of the Week. Mine's not as good as yours, but I've talked about it before, and I feel bad making the Rock of the Week. But the Utah Jazz are set up 3-1. They've, what do they do? Like, any basketball fans out there, share your thoughts. They're in that position where they're good, but they're not good enough. So they should have won this series. By God, they should have. Home, away, not home, bubble, whatever. You can't go up 3-1 and then not be able to go on with the job.
What do they need?
Well, they probably
need a scoring point, don't they?
Yeah, probably.
Like, everything's running through the top, isn't it? Like, Mitchell's running. Everything's coming off him.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. Like, I mean, you still think like they've still got. Obviously, Conley still is. He was quite good for them at different stages. Rudy Gobert, obviously, so they've got a good defensive-minded centre. Joe Ingles is a perfect. We're probably biased because we're Aussies, but he's a really good glue guy. You've then got what's his name, Jordan Clarkson, who gave him a real spark off the bench. So I mean, they had depth and a good squad, but it's just not enough to put them into that next level to compete, obviously, for the championship. But I just thought it's a bad way to. It's a horrible way to go out when you're up 3-1 in a series and to go down like that. Not only that, I don't know if you saw the final shot. Again, we talk about games that went down to the wire. I forget who it was now, but it wasn't Mitchell, but someone on the other side had a 3, and like fair dinkum, it's literally gone in and out.
Yeah.
That drops, that they advance.
How about the score in that last one? 80-78.
Yeah.
Compared to the other games.
Yeah, where they're putting up some points, as we talked about before. They're putting up some points. So yeah, so I make the Utah Jazz my Rock of the Week. Hogan's Family Jewelers, call forward. They need the 2021 MVP, Kevin the Goat Durant. Well, he'd help.
That'd be interesting, wouldn't it?
He'd help.
He'd help. He helps most teams.
That would work. That would work. They get him, they could win the championship. So
correct.
Yeah. But I don't know what chances they do. They don't know what chances they've got of getting him. Unfortunately, Cole.
Let's go with Kevin.
He'll be back next season.
Ready to roll? Yep.
With Brooklyn. So it'll be interesting to see how he comes back and how he plays with Kyrie. I mean, Kyrie's got to stay on the court as well.
Yeah.
He's a few question marks over Kyrie, isn't he? Look at Boston. Boston hasn't missed him.
No, they're flowing, aren't they? Boston.
That didn't really work out with him there. They've got a lot better sense with Kemba Walker there. So, but anyway, we'll see what happens there. Hogan's Family Jewelers, Diamond of the Week. What do you got? What's your positive?
Well, it's all happening Saturday night. SBW. Sonny Bill, he's back. I think it's great. It is for the year that we've all had, and for all the codes have had, for the NRL to do what they've had to do to get Sonny Bill back in the game. Smartest move they've done. Like, Volandis, another tick to him. Hasn't he had a cracker of a year?
He's going okay.
Everything's going on. He has had a cracker to do what they've done to get Sonny Bill back in the game. Give the NRL a bit more of a lift. The exposure of this bloke, he is massive. You sit down and you have a look what he's done over the years.
Yeah.
Remarkable, isn't it? What an athlete he is to play as a 17, 18-year-old. Remember, he used to just smash people. Like shoulder charges he did when he was young at the Bulldogs. Did that, won an NRL premiership. What's he won? 3? Won 1 with the Bulldogs, 2 with the Roosters.
Did he win 2?
With the Roosters.
Definitely 2 anyway, but you might be right. It probably was 3, but he's definitely won 2. So,
and in between, he won 2 World Cups. Went and played Union. Won the best rugby league players. Won the Golden Boot.
Won a few fights,
and he's gone out and boxed.
Yeah.
So mate, to get him back playing, I think it's unbelievable coming into finals. It's going to give the NRL a bit more of a boost, I think.
Yeah, no, great one there. So SBW returns against the Canberra Raiders. How many minutes do you reckon he'll get?
20, 15 to 20. Yeah, they'll just ease him into it, get him ready for a 4-week tilt, get him ready for finals.
Yeah.
Not a bad impact player, is he?
He'll be all right.
Be a good game, that. Canberra and Roosters, Sunday night.
Fantastic. As someone said to me actually this morning at the gym, I was talking to them about it, and I sort of made the comment how I didn't see any, but they said that SBW was going ordinary with Toronto, but the comment was made to me that what he had around him is a bit different to what he'll have around him at the Roosters. So getting fed from the likes of Keary and Flanagan, and then having on his outside Morris's and Manu
he's
and
a winner.
Yeah. So I think he'll and he's very skillful. He said with the ball, and obviously he's also a very, very big human being as well. So, as I said, I stood beside him at the. I got a photo with actually Aaron and myself at the Mundine Par fight. He was there, boxing trainer. You can add that to it. I tell you what, he was giving more instruction to Anthony Mundine in that fight than anybody else.
Okay.
So, and he's got. I was like, "Who's this bloke?" I looked over to me, and it was Sonny Bill Williams. I was like, "Who's this bloke giving all the instructions?" It was SBW. He was the one giving most instructions.
Here's one for you. Obviously, you've seen a bit of boxing. How would he go if he had a crack?
Sonny?
Yeah. So, obviously, people have been trying to get him and Gallen. He'd towel up Gallen, wouldn't he?
I think he's one of the most, if not the most, skillful convert outside of Mundine. Obviously, I think he's a totally different story of the ones that are dual playing both at the same time. I always thought he was the most skillful, like talented. I always thought he'd beat a Gallen, but the more of what Gallen has said, he's improved so much. I just got an idea Gallen might outwill him, to be honest. So, but he's very. And particularly Sonny's getting a bit older, so and he hasn't been in the ring for a long time now.
Yeah.
You know, but I always, I was one that I know there's skeptics and things like that. I actually rated him. I actually think he's got a bit of ability. So
interesting, wouldn't it? Him and Gallen. So with the height and reach over him, and
it'd be very, very interesting. Can't wait. So So anyway, we'll see how that all unfolds. But the SBW is back, so look forward to that on the footy. Troy, my diamond of the week this week, one very personal and close to me, but I'm going to make it Anthony Collins, so the local Racecourse, a great friend of the show on the semi-pros. He obviously is the man who took on the position as Clifford Park's resident racecaller, obviously after Dad's passing in actually September 5, 2015. So, and one of those things you sort of learn, I suppose, is the impact that someone had. Sometimes you don't know the impact they had until they're passed, and that's something that's really hit home to me in the last 5 years, is the impact that Dad had on so many people. Anthony Collins is one very, very in particular. Like Anthony Collins, basically, you ask him, you say people growing up had their idol, whether it was, said Alan Border, Sonny Bill Williams, whoever it might be. His idol was Dad. He wanted to be a race caller like Dad. He said he used to sit in school back in the classroom, listening to the trots on a Thursday, listening to Dad call. I know obviously he got the chance to go out there and learn a bit from Dad as he was coming through the ranks. But anyway, long story short, obviously he's always been one of these people that's always done everything he can to continue that legacy and to remember the deeds of Dad. So he organised the Race Callers Day, which we normally do on the Pat O'Shea Plate Day. Now, of course, we know this year it's on Wheatwood Day, so have Race Callers Day. We had Darren Flindell here last year. We had Paul Dolan here calling. We have Alan Hull here. We've had Josh Fleming here to call, obviously. David Fowler, but there's been a long list of callers who've come up to be a part of this Race Callers Day to honour Dad. But anyway, so with COVID and things changing that, and Wheatwood this year now being Pat O'Shea Plate Day, being the same as Wheatwood, Anthony wasn't sure what the Race Callers Day, so he's pulled together and made sure it's going to be this Saturday night. And ironically, as I said, that'll fall on the 5-year anniversary of Dad's passing, September 5. So there'll be Anthony, Brett Moody, Benny Hall, and Josh Fleming. So they're going to call the races up here on Saturday night, including a relay call. So very much looking forward to that. And as I said, so Anthony Collins, I think it's the way it's all. He's the one he's the driving force behind this. He's the one that gets in there and makes it happen and wants to and rallies and gets everyone involved. So Anthony Collins, it's our local resident race caller out there at Clifford Park. He's my diamond of the week.
Yeah, good. When's which is the race, the relay one, mate? Which one's that?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'll have to talk to him. So they're normally, actually, I thought of the boys. Like normally, obviously, Anthony, they'll pick a long race and one with the smallest number of runners. So normally you find a mile race or a 2,000 metre race one. So obviously where they can easily, well, not easily, none of it's easy, and the smallest field. I had a look there earlier today, and the fields are pretty big, so I don't know what they're going to do there.
Pretty big, and they're all 1200s.
Yeah, it'll make it a bit harder for them. So, but yeah, it's actually really interesting to watch. Like I'm away this weekend. I really wish I could have been there. But if you watch the guys call it, it's something. Hopefully one of them goes Facebook Live. It's really interesting to watch. Obviously, 4 blokes trying to call the one race.
Yeah.
So how they do it. So I remember watching last year. So obviously the first one starts off out of the binoculars out obviously on the course. You got one calling off one screen and they flick and hit. Yeah, it's to be up there behind the scenes, and they've done it seamlessly every year to watch how they do it. So they call 400. That's why they do it over a mile race, and they call 400 meters each. So yeah. So but no, he's a great great.
He is a good man, isn't he?
Oh yeah, terrific bloke. So that's all happening on Saturday night out there at Clifford Park. So I hope if anyone's around, they can listen into it and support it. So it's it'll be well worth seeing. So Anthony Collins, my diamond of the week. Righto, that's a good segue into finding a winner for Hogans Family Jewelers. This is our multi of the week. I'm real keen on one, as you know. Yeah, super
what is
keen
it,
on
mate?
one this week. Snow Zone. Hutto, sorry, what happened to Gallen's little brother Peter from the Q Cup? Is he? Yeah, I don't know. Peter Gallen. Good question. I don't know. I met him in Toowoomba when he came up here and fought, actually. And there's Michelle Stour. So yeah, no, nice little emojis to sum up Anthony Collins there. I think that's quite fitting. But a winner. I've got one. Troy, I do. Snow Zone. I'm sure it's in the last. I'm just pulling it up.
It is. I'm just looking. Yep.
It's race 9, number something. Have you got it in front of you?
Yeah, it's race 9.
I've got it here. Race 9, horse 2, Snow Zone. Yep. No, as I sort of said to you guys the other day, I was keen on this when it won a couple of starts ago. When the wet came, I wouldn't be disappointed if it rained again between now and the jump time, to be honest, because it's a really good wet tracker, but it also goes well enough on top of the ground. But key thing is it gets back to 1200. I've always sort of it's an out and out 1200 metre horse. Doesn't go much past 1200, to be honest. Its last couple of starts they've tried to stretch it out to 1350, so it gets back to this 1200 metre trip. It's got a couple of kilos off with Justin Huxtable, who's riding quite well. I just think it's that horse where at the end of the day we'll say we had every possible. If it's good enough, it'll win. If it's not good enough, it won't. But I think it'll get everything in its favour. I think it can win. So I'm keen. We have to wait to the lucky last. Race 9, number 2. Snow Zone is my best. It's only a 2-leg this week.
Yeah, I'm going to stick with the Mogster. Surprise Baby.
Yep.
I think it's come back. It's going to come back better than last year, and it was good last year. I think you're getting, what are you getting now? 280. So you're looking at Moonee Valley Race 8, number 4, Surprise Baby. It's 280. What's it like first up? Better check that out. Yeah. 2 for a win. But I think it's come back in good order, and it's going to win straight up on Saturday afternoon.
Can I win the Melbourne Cup? Can I win the Melbourne Cup?
Oh, well, you'd say yes on last year's performance, wouldn't you? Yeah.
Probably should. Again, the old shoulda, coulda. It probably should have won last year.
You think it's got a lot of improvement in it, wouldn't you? That's why I'm very surprised to see what it does in the next few starts.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
But I think it's come back well. It's going to be ready to roll on Saturday.
And obviously the plan this time for Paul Prushka as well, obviously trying to keep it beat the handicapper as well. So you win the Fian, the winner of the Fian is ballot free straight into the Cox Plate. So this is the route where we've seen that a couple of years. The cleaner did that, won the Fian, so it's guaranteed to start in the Cox Plate. So for Surprise Baby to go build up.
So
there,
what would it go? Fian, if it wins that into the Cox?
Oh, I'd say it'd probably run in something else, the Turnbull or the Underwood or something in between for sure.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Yeah, I mean, maybe he might. You're right. He might have this run obviously first up at a mile, might go straight into a Cox Plate. One of those sort of up at 16, 1800 might have a run there, or the Peter Young. I'm sure they'll have another run in there somewhere and then go to the Cox Plate, because Cox Plate obviously is a week and a half into the big one, the first Tuesday in November. So, but yeah, if you saw the Melbourne Cup last year, it probably should have won, to be honest.
The winner last year.
What won last year?
Found a Claire, mate.
I was on the second one.
$15, I think I got. I was very happy.
I was on the second one.
How's this last year? Last year, I went to a conference in Melbourne just before the Cup. A couple of boys I was talking to there, they stayed for a few extra days to go to the Cup. One of their mates had a horse running Cup day down to Clare. Got some interesting pictures that night from these lads. They went to the Cup, the Cup party afterwards. They got the Cup on their head. It was I had a chat to them afterwards. They said the most unbelievable experience they ever had, like being there and having a mate that won it, and going to the party. Yeah.
How good would that be? Hopefully we're doing something like that with you and Gloves horse one day, Golden Slipper or a.
We'll start with that. We'll take a Toowoomba Cup, mate. We'll take a Wetwood. A Wetwood.
Chinchilla Cup.
Yeah, that'll do. Chinchilla, Tara.
Anything, anywhere, wins a
Any
win.
type of cup.
All right, so that's our multi of the week. Anything happening this weekend worth mentioning before we go?
The indoor boys, the Toowoomba Dragons, Major League team. They finished regular season in second spot.
Yep.
So the semi-finals are up here in Toowoomba. So everyone's coming up the hill for semi-finals Saturday night, 8:30. They're playing against Strathpine. Strathpine they're playing.
Yeah.
So Cameron Boyce, the BBL player, played for Australia outdoor. He's playing.
Yeah.
With his twin brother Chris, played Australian indoor. You got Lyle Teskey, Australian indoor player. So and then you've got the 3v4 game, Toowoomba up against Wynnum. So you probably have about 8 or 9 Aussie players on display out there on Saturday night. So
outstanding.
Get out for a look. Be a couple of good games.
So get out there from what time? From when did you say? 8:30.
Kicks off. I think the Toowoomba ladies kick off around 3:30.
Yeah.
So the men played 8:30. The other men's game will be at 6:45. The one beforehand. So there'll be some good cricketers out there on Saturday night.
Right, we're practically out of time. But you've watched them play? We've asked this a couple of weeks ago, but you still think our local boys, the Dragons, can go close to winning it all? Yeah,
they go close. It'll be a big test for them on Saturday. Strathpine are a good team. They've got a lift. They've got a lift to beat them. So but there's no reason they can't. They're up there. They've got a good squad. They've got some good young players with a few old heads like old Teskey in there. So we're looking forward to see how they go. Be some good cricket.
All right, so that's all happening out there. So get out and support that, righto. So support local sport. I've got a competition actually as well. So if you're listening in here, up on the Semi-Pros page, we've got for Father's Day. So we've got 4 $50 vouchers for Rebel that I'm going to announce on the page on Monday. So if you go onto our Facebook page, you'll find that one there. It was put up earlier in the week. So just scroll down, you'll know which one it is. You'll find it. And we're asking you to nominate any fathers who obviously have made a great contribution to sport. So whether it be to junior sport and things like that, like we talked to George Voll before, just about obviously family involvement and what they do. So everyone's always had someone, their father was either the coach or they were they ran the gate, they ran the canteen, they marked the lines, they did something. Just there's so many volunteers in sport that do so much. So asking anyone, nominate your dad as someone you think that deserves a $50 voucher from Rebel. So we're going to put all those names basically into the barrel in the hat, and we'll draw 4 at random. So that'll come up on Monday. So get in and nominate for that, and you might be able to get a belated Happy Father's Day present for your father. So we'll announce that on Monday. So keep an eye out on the page for that. But jump on us in the meantime now and nominate someone. So the more nominations we get, the better. So we'll draw that out on Monday. So get to that. And as we said, always get out and support some local sport. Plenty of it happening around our area this weekend. Troy, it's been fun. Thanks for joining us.
Mate.
Yeah, we should do it more often.
Yeah, get rid of those other 2 jokers. So.
Yeah,
I think it's just them 2 next week, isn't it?
That's right. Yeah,
you and I both away,
and you're away, so we're both otherwise committed. So that should be good. We'll see how they go.
Interesting.
I might tune in and comment on their clothing. So pass some judgment on the tablecloths and whatever else. So next thing there'll be the Paragon shirts be like this. You watch.
Yes.
So, yeah, you watch. So, but it's been fun. Thanks for joining us on the Semi-Pros. Great to have your company. Have a fantastic week. We'll talk to you next week.
Just about do, mate. Surely. There you go. That's outstanding. That much talent running around in our own backyard.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Semi-Pros. The Semi-Pros. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up. The Skull.